Hey everyone, I want to introduce you our project 2020 US Presidential Election Exploration and R. Here is our team, and we finished this project in Dr. Robin's course, Exploratory Data Analysis and Visualization. We all know under the coronavirus pandemic, the election 2020 was incredibly eventful. With all these disputes over the election integrity, we asked the question. Were the voting outcomes really unexpected or even fraudulent as Trump claimed? We decided to take a look at how the presidential committees run last year and to see if the finances of two presidential campaigns can explain how Trump lost his re-election. And there are several key findings that we want you to take away with. Biden received and spent much more than Trump did in 2020. And the individual contributions and voting outcomes were consistent for most of the states when showing on the map. And the two candidates used very different spending strategies, whereas Biden effectively won more votes from the states he spent the most, including the two flip states, Georgia and Pennsylvania. The project mainly used two datasets. One is the election voting results data, and another one is the contribution receipts and disbursements data from Federal Election Commission. And we basically went through three procedures. In the data processing, we extracted information from columns and transform it to some format that we use to visualize. And for the exploration, we calculated the statistics, distribution, and the associations between the variables. And collecting all of these informations to the visualization part, we generated static graphics as well as interactive graphics and animations. And we also applied the JavaScript libraries D3 and HighCharts to create a map on the web page so we can run it in the web browser. And now we're moving to the next parts.
A typical challenge to an election analysis project like this is always the data authenticity. We gathered raw data sets from multiple official election data publishers instead of using the ones pre-processed by the news platforms to avoid data bias. We synchronized our data with our source on a weekly basis and validated our analysis against those updates. In alignment of conducting the objective analysis, we standardized all the color scales and units of comparisons to avoid misleading graphs. We also provide the data source and methods we use to the audience to examine and reconstruct our work. Since most of the audience might not have a technical background, keeping the content educational yet entertaining is an issue that we need to take care of. We selected diverse and appropriate graph types to visualize the data. We also added the interactive animation components like this to help the readers get the concepts more easily. And the entire project is presented in book-down GitHub pages, and the D3 visualization part is hosted on a web server. And that ensures the project to be compatible to most web browsers and maximize the user's experience while reading our report. So overall, our project achieved the task of explaining the technical details to non-technical audience. It dissects the 2020 presidential election from a financial perspective and examines the political polarization in the country. From a social science point of view, we are able to explain how American people's attitude toward politics changed over time during COVID-19. And from a data science perspective, this project gives a new possibility of examining the election outcome. If we can further validate the key findings in this project with a larger data set in the future, then we will be able to have more clues in identifying the fake election news in the future. And those key findings could also work as indicators to help construct a variety of machine learning models for predicting the future election outcomes. And that's it for our presentation. Thanks for watching.